I'm Jen, and I may have said this before, but dear God, do I wish I were a hobbit. Quick reminder here at the top that this is an inclusive space where Black Lives Matter and we are anti-Asian hate. That means that you are safe here in the video with me and in the comments below where no hate speech of any kind will be tolerated. Welcome to another Camp Nanowrimo vlog. This week we are going to talk about self-care. I did not get a ton of camp writing done this week, and I think that's probably because it was just a very rough brain week. One of my best friends from college, she and her partner just had a baby, which is great and wonderful and very exciting, but it is still COVID times, so I can't go down and meet him, which is super sad and upsetting, and I think bothered me more than I initially expected. There is also that matter of COVID cases being on the uptick again, which is causing a lot of anxiety, and it's shitty in general. So instead of trying to pressure myself to get back into a story that felt really daunting and really overwhelming because I hadn't really started it yet during camp, I decided to take this week and reorganize my writing life and make progress without worrying about pressure. And I will tell you guys how you can do that too. So before we dive in, here's a little self-care checklist. Have you had water today? Have you eaten recently? Do you have any daily medications, and did you take them yet? What can you do to straighten up the area around you? And are you incredibly tired because you didn't sleep well? If that's the case, go take a nap and watch this later. I'll still be here. Today we're going to talk about self-care because this has been a week of not doing what I thought I was going to do and instead focusing on my brain. One of the things that I did in order to declutter my brain was declutter my space. We have been moving furniture around in the house and there has just been stuff piling up in the space in which I work. So here's me taking everything off the desk and starting to put it back together, but then my camera battery died. One little thing that I do to clear my head when I can feel myself getting overwhelmed and anxious is to make my bed, because this is what it looks like when I get up in the morning and this is what it looks like after I make it. Here is what that space looks like after I finished cleaning it up and organizing it so that things were easier to find. On Wednesday night before my Paperbacks & Co. meeting, I actually had a presentation to go to with the Maryland Writers Association. I actually got some really good news this week that I will also be presenting about character creation and cheers for the Maryland Writers Association at their conference in October. I decided to strip down the paranormal romance and go back to the bones. My characters have a second chance at love. I wanted to figure out what their first chance looked like. So you can see me scrolling through Wikipedia through the history of Greece to find out some information. Okay, let's talk about my writing mail. This is something I decided to treat myself to because of getting the exciting publication news last week or 2 weeks ago. It is a two-part Hobonichi Techo cousin. This comes in 2 books. The first book is upstairs. This is the second one. This is July to December for 2021. You will see that I have already decked her out with lots of sparkly little tabs. She's got a beautiful Michael Keaton sticker here on the back, and she's got a couple of little washi tabs here at the top. What I'm going to be doing with this, if you haven't already read it on the cover here, is daily writing prompts. I'm going to get those prompts from A Writer's Book of Days, which is a book by Judy Reeves that I've had on my shelf for quite a while. She's a little yellowed at the edges. There are prompts for each day of the year, and they're in these little yellow orangey boxes here at the bottom. It also has a lot of thoughts and reflections on the writing life with different themes for every 5 days or so. I've worked through some of this in the past, but this is my first concerted effort to really make it all the way through the book. I really like the writing prompts that are in here. They can be interpreted in a lot of different ways. They're very short, they're very easy. It's who you met at a party, out of the corner of my eye, write about a pair of shoes. And then there are some that feel a little bit more self-reflection-y. The first time I saw blank, or write about being late, write about a conversation. So they're really open-ended, which means that I get to write either fiction or nonfiction, depending on how I'm feeling that day. I really like the reflections on the writing life in that book as well. So what I'm going to do with the Hobonichi, this is a planner. If you are unfamiliar with it, it has really thin, super wonderful Tomo River paper. The first part is these monthly overviews. So this is the days of the month here. And I've started writing in the prompts for each day here in case I only have this with me and not my writer's book of dates. Then the next tab here is like these monthly overviews. I don't know what I'm going to do with those yet. And then these are dailies with like hour by hour. As a planner goes, this is probably what I would use most often. But because that's not how I'm using it, again, I'm not really sure how I'm going to use those pages. These pages back here are really where the money is made. These are full page spreads that are available for each day of the year. And you can see that I have started writing here. 15 minutes of writing fills about one page. So this is going to be something new that I add to my daily routine. I really love this notebook. I expected to based on all the different people that I saw on YouTube talking about it and using it. Planners, writers, all sorts of people. It's a very sexy little notebook. So I'm going to use this for July through December. And then when January comes, I'll just use the first one. I'm using it for these daily pages for the most part anyway. So the weekly calendar doesn't really matter as much. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already gotten some of that spiel. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's right with a Pendragon. So this week, on top of writing, which I did do, I also made sure to stay on top of reading the Paper Cat Press newsletter and looking at my Funds for Writers newsletters to know what is coming up in my future. I did a little bit of planning for August, so I know what my meal plan is going to be like, and I also slept in a couple of mornings. So my writing schedule wasn't great, but I still moved forward on several projects. I got a really exciting piece of writer mail, and I attended a writing class with Francesca Leah Block, who wrote Dangerous Angels, which is the reason I write. Overall, this week, I still think is a success. I wrote or worked on my writing every day of the week, and I made a little bit of progress on the paranormal romance, but mostly I gave myself permission to slow down and work on it at whatever pace serves the story rather than an arbitrary deadline. I kept up with my other goals and my to-do list for the week as well, so good job. I think my biggest key to success or feeling like I'm a success in the last couple of weeks has for sure been joining active writing communities and taking part in those communities, not just lurking in the background or stopping in every once in a while, talking to other writers and knowing that we're all on our own different journey, being there to share our successes and our bad days and our bad weeks, and also knowing that bad days are just that, bad days, and there will be a good day in the future. That's a little bit of rambling, but all of that has been incredibly important and helpful. And if you are not part of a writing community, I highly recommend finding a writers group. A lot of physical spaces have moved into virtual ones. So I am a member of the Maryland Writers Association, but I'm also now taking part in an hour of writing with the London Writers Salon, link down below in the description, and Finding Paperbacks & Co. because I became active on Instagram again. And all of those things have been really crucial to making sure that I'm living the writing life that I want to live rather than focusing on that word count. It means that my writing life extends way beyond just November, and I'm consistently writing all the time. It also means that I have other people to talk to about those successes and failures. Although in a lot of the spaces, we don't really use words like just, never, only, failure. We talk about setbacks, we talk about frustrations, roadblocks, but we don't let those things stop us or turn us around entirely. So while my attitude towards word counts and reaching deadlines has changed a little bit, it hasn't changed the fact that I will definitely be taking part in Nanowrimo this year, just more intentionally. I'm going to take advantage of Preptober and maybe start prepping for it next month. I don't know if that means I'm going to try getting this paranormal romance written in the month of November again, or if it means that I'm going to start working on it slowly up until November and then pick another project. But what I can tell you is that I will definitely still be taking part in those writing communities and rallying others around me all year round, rather than just joining the Maryland Discord during the month of November. If you have something you really love about your writing life or something you really want to change about your writing life, please let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what your number one self-care tip is. Mine is probably making sure that I get to drink tea out of a fancy cup every now and again. As always, you can find links to my social media and everywhere else you can find me online down in the description below. And if you want more resources from me, including some really exciting plans I have coming up for Preptober, go ahead and click on the Patreon link below. You can become a patron for as low as $1 a month. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, as well as ringing the bell so that you'll get notified every time there's new content. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you soon. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy.
Are you always this articulate?
Hercules, my